Hi guys, it's Angie with Fun Endeavors Tie-Dye Lab. Today I'm making a freestyle fan fold shirt. As usual, I washed and dried my shirt, soaked it in soda ash, wrung it out in my Panda spin dryer, and so it's just barely damp. I've also turned my shirt inside out. I have a ruler that's about 18 inches long and approximately an inch wide. I'm just going to use that as a guide and draw some diagonal lines onto my shirt. I'm using a washable marker for this. I get asked the question many times why I turn my shirt inside out. I do that because sometimes when you mix up the dye, some of the colors don't totally dissolve properly, and there can be some speckling that comes out when you apply the liquid dye to your shirt. So if I turn the shirt inside out, most of the time that speckling will just go on the inside of the shirt and won't soak all the way through to the front side of the shirt. I'm only going to draw diagonal lines partway across my shirt because my ruler isn't long enough. And so I figured if I fan folded this first portion, I could use this as a guide to fan fold the rest. I usually refer to this as a fan fold, but you'll hear other tie-dyers call it an accordion fold. It's the same fold. Now that I've reached the end of the portion where I have lines, I'm going to mainly just focus on the middle portion, getting that lined up properly. Then I'll go back later and straighten it out either side. As you can tell, I wasn't happy with the way my fan folds were going, so I just found the last area that I liked, unfolded it to there, and am starting over. I'm trying to keep all of my folds as close to uniform in size as I can. Now I'm going to either side of my shirt and I'm going to smooth out and straighten out my fan folds. Because my shirt is barely damp, the areas that I've already fan folded and kind of pressed together fairly tightly, those are staying in place. That's one reason why it's easier if you'll fan fold or if you'll fold a shirt while it's damp. It holds the folds a little bit easier. A dry shirt has a tendency to want to unfold when you're trying to put it in place. Okay, so now I'm going to just take one end of my shirt and I'm going to coil it or spiral it down on top of itself, holding all of my fan folds in place. I'm coiling this as tightly as I can too. Then I have some kite string, and I'm going to tie this up with some kite string and pull it tight as I'm tying it. After I'm finished tying it, I'm going to go ahead and set it aside and let it dry out before I apply my dye. I get asked that question a lot too. I usually dye my shirts dry because if the shirt is too damp, the fibers are already pretty full of soda ash water and are not quite as eager to wick or to absorb the dye into them as they are when they're dry. It's not as big of a deal for a smaller, thinner fold, but a thicker fold like a mandala, sometimes it's a little bit difficult to get that middle of the mandala well saturated if the shirt is already too damp. Okay, so now the shirt is dry and it's ready to start applying the dye. For this one, I have quite a few rainbow colors mixed up, so I'm just going to do kind of a cleanup shirt for this one. I have some fire red, which is a Dharma color. I have deep orange and soft orange, which I've mixed together. Those are both Dharma colors. Some golden yellow and lemon yellow, which I've mixed together. Then I have some bright green, which is a Grateful Dyes color. Some sea foam, which is a custom colors. And some grape, which is a Dharma color. I'm going to make sure to saturate all of these colors really well because I'm only going to put the bright colors on the front of the shirt. Okay, I just turned my shirt over to see whether or not it was well saturated, and I wanted to make sure I could see part of that color coming through, and I could for all of my colors except the green. So I went ahead and turned my shirt back over and applied some more green and some more of the sea foam. Now on the back side of the shirt, I have a color from Dharma called Midnight Blue, and I'm going to put that all over the back side of the shirt. I'm saturating it pretty well, but I don't want to oversaturate it because I don't want it to overtake all of the colors that I put on the front. I'm going to turn my shirt back over and process it with the color side up. And I'm going to put the lid on this tub, put it outside for a few hours because it's really hot today, and then I'll wash it out in 24 hours. Alright, so this is what our shirt ended up looking like. I think it looks really cool. See how all the rainbow stripes are going one direction and all the darker stripes that we put on the back are going the opposite direction. Listen, if you guys are enjoying watching these videos, I sure would appreciate it if you'd hit the big red subscribe button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great day.